Hey everyone, this video is going to be about how you can write your own prompt to create your own AI assistant or AI receptionist in your business. In one of my last videos, which was a full 1 hour training on AI voice assistants and receptionists, I told that I would be making a full separate video on this topic on how to write your own prompt, because this is really important. A lot of people think that they know how to write a prompt, but writing small chat GPT prompts is not actually prompting in this scenario, because these are voice assistants. They will be talking to customers, your clients. They need to have certain skills and they represent your business. So the voice prompt here is really important. So in my training, I briefly went over the topic of prompts and prompting your voice assistant, and this is the whole detailed thing. You should really check that one out if you're interested in creating an AI assistant for your own business who can book meetings, handle client inquiries and stuff like that. So before we get into the actual prompting, I would like you to see this example to see what you can achieve if you write a correct and good prompt for your assistant.
Hi, this is Ava from lifelike AI. How may I assist you today?
Hello Eva, I want to know more about your business and what you guys do.
Of course. At lifelike AI, we specialize in providing AI automation services to help businesses streamline their operations and improve efficiency. One of our key offerings is AI receptionists like myself, who can assist businesses by answering calls, booking meetings, and managing customer inquiries. This helps save time and enhances customer service. We also offer custom AI solutions tailored to the specific needs of our clients. Is there a particular service you're interested in learning more about? Or perhaps you'd like to schedule a meeting to discuss how we can help your business?
Sure, I actually like the AI receptionist stuff, so can you book a meeting for me to learn more?
I'd be happy to help you book a meeting to learn more about our AI receptionist services. Could you please provide me with your name, email, and your preferred date and time for the meeting? Also, please confirm the spelling for your name and email to ensure accuracy.
Sure, my name is Suyash, that is spelled as Suyash.
Thank you, Suyash. Could you please provide your email address and let me know your preferred date and time for the meeting?
Sure, my email is suyash@123.com and I would like to book a call for, let's say, tomorrow 2 p.m.
Thank you, Suyash. Just to confirm, your email is suyash@123.com and you would like to book a call for tomorrow at 2 p.m. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
This'll just take a sec.
Sure.
Just a sec. Your meeting has been successfully booked for tomorrow at 2 p.m. If you have any further questions or need assistance, feel free to reach out. Thank you for choosing lifelike AI, and we look forward to speaking with you.
So now that you've seen the example, and if this is the first video that you're watching of mine, my name is Suyash and I run an AI automation agency called Owlwise Creatives, where I help businesses install AI voice callers into their businesses, whether it be AI receptionists or AI outbound callers who book appointments for you and automate certain workflows of businesses to save them money and time. I would like to first tell why prompting is so important. Basically, prompt serves as the base and the brain for your assistant. It will tell it how to act, how to react, how to talk to clients. It will have all the information about your business. So basically, as I said, a base and a brain for your assistant. Without prompting, you can use a great software, a great voice for your assistant, or a great knowledge base, but it will not work without a good prompt. So let's start with it. Alright, so starting with the prompt structure, this is how the prompt structure goes. It basically has 6 main steps. The first one being role, as you can see here, role, task, then specifics and context, examples and notes. The software that I'm going to be using for today's example is Vapi, which is a voice AI platform, and I used that one as well in my previous tutorial that I mentioned, the 1 hour training. So that's what I'm going to be using today. Alright, now I'm going to take you through these step by step with what you need to do in these, as well as I'll be building an example prompt alongside today in Vapi to show you. The example prompt will be for an AI assistant for a law firm. So that AI receptionist or assistant would be able to book meetings, handle customer queries and stuff like that. So first up we have role, which basically means who they are. So in short 2 sentences, if you had to tell your assistant who they actually are, this is where that would fit. All right, so the first step is role, and basically identify who the assistant is, so who they actually are in the most basic sense in just one sentence. So clearly define the identity of the AI. Is it a receptionist, customer service rep, or a personal assistant? Tell it that. Tell it its name. You know, this sets the tone of the AI's behavior and responses. Describe the assistant's expertise. Now, this is really important. So just read this. Explain the level of expertise or knowledge. For example, should the assistant be an expert in law? Like, as I said, I'm going to be taking a law firm example today, so I will be using that. So should the assistant be expert in law? If it's a law firm for healthcare, it would be a medical clinic expert or something like that, right? It's really important that you tell it that it's an expert in your specific field. It just works better, trust me on this, it just works better in prompts. So if you tell your AI that it is an expert at something or it is really good at something, that tends to perform much, much better. So this is the demo prompt that I've written for the first step role for this demo assistant I'm creating for this video. You are Chris, an AI receptionist and virtual assistant for a law firm specializing in family and criminal law. That's it. In role, you do not have to specify a lot of stuff. You do not have to write lengthy prompts. You just need to explain who it is in 1 to 2 lines maximum. Second, we have the task, so which is basically what they do. You do not have to write every single small detail, that would come in the next step, which is specifics. So here you just outline the primary function, describe the main task or responsibility of the assistant. Example, scheduling appointments, answering client inquiries, providing legal information. This is for my example, which I'm taking of the law firm. You can write whatever you want regarding your business. So I guess scheduling appointments would be common in all, and answering client inquiries as well. Specify the scope of work. So clarify the extent of the assistant's responsibilities, that is handling initial client interactions, guiding clients through the appointment process, just basic stuff of what it will be doing, right? Okay, so for this second step, the tasks one, I've written it needs to manage inquiries, right? So greet callers warmly, gather essential details such as their name, case type, and urgency, and answer general questions about the firm's services. Schedule appointments, check attorney availability, offer suitable slots, and confirm appointments. Initial case preparation guidance, so provide new clients with a list of documents they should bring for their consultation, that is case files, ID, prior court notices. And this all can be stored in here files. You can just go to files, upload the database that I told you about, the knowledge base, and from here you will be able to select a knowledge base. Now the next step is specifics. This is where you dive into the details. So clarify key functions, include details on how the assistant should handle tasks, that is asking relevant questions to collect important information or following up for clarifications. So if you run a business where you need to have information of client, you should prompt your assistant like this, that it should ask questions that are necessary and on the information that it needs to collect about your potential clients or already paying clients. Highlight industry specific needs. So if applicable, mention any industry specific processes the assistant should be aware of. That is, let's say for an example, in a law firm, the assistant may need to know about the documents to bring, legal terminology, or types of cases. You need to tell it that. Also, if there is a lot of information, like in a law firm, there would be a lot of information regarding the types of cases that a law firm takes, the legal terminology, or even the lengthy documents. What I would suggest it, which I actually showed how to do in my previous 1 hour training video, you just take a Word document or a PDF document, create a whole knowledge base of whatever knowledge you want your assistant to have. And there's a special place in Vapi where you can just feed that knowledge base, and you don't have to type everything on in the prompt. It will just take information from the knowledge base whenever it thinks is necessary. After that, in specifics, only adaptability. So specify if the assistant should adjust its responses based on different client scenarios. So example, understanding if a client is confused and needs a simpler explanation. That can happen once you start using the assistant and you see that sometimes your clients are confused about a specific part or something like that. Then you can, prompt your assistant in a way that it explains what it means. And lastly, define communication style. So explain how the assistant should interact with clients. Do you want a professional assistant or a friendly one, someone who is concise in its responses, like says really short responses, or informative? Well, that it explains everything. Third step, which is specifics, this is what I've written for the demo. Always clarify if the caller is a new or returning client and tailor responses based on their status. So obviously, if a law firm has clients that call a lot, inquiring about stuff, this would come in handy. When a client inquires about the firm, provide a brief overview of the firm's areas of expertise in family and criminal law, emphasizing client success and confidentiality. Now, all this can be stored in the knowledge base if you want greater details about your past cases. In this case, record all interactions with relevant details about client needs and any specific requests for attorney review. And this is where I've mentioned tone. So use a professional, polite, and knowledgeable tone that is friendly and approachable. Display empathy, especially in sensitive family law cases, because as it says that this might have family law cases, and the tone, the polite and friendly tone, comes handy in here. So that is why tone is really, really important. Also, one thing you do is just switch this on, right? Detect emotions. So it basically detects emotions of the caller better. Next, the fourth step in the process is context. Now, this is important because you need to provide like a background, a context of yourself and your business for the assistant to have a little bit of background knowledge of where it's working and stuff like that. So business overview, first of all, provide background information on the business, that is the business services, specialities, or location of the business. These are the basic stuff that some clients might ask the assistant about the business. So you will also need to mention the target audience. So mention who the assistant will be speaking to, that is clients seeking legal advice, potential new clients, or current clients with ongoing cases, right? So you need to tell your assistant that who it will be speaking with. If it's multiple of them, so like maybe that assistant that you want to create is just for incoming calls for new cases that clients seek legal advice or consulting sessions. So you need to tell it that the client's needs. So specify some common questions or concerns that the clients typically have. Basically, whatever questions the clients might have, you think, or what they usually have, just tell the assistant that. So example, appointment booking, case updates, legal document assistant. So you need to tell all this to your assistant so that it knows what kind of questions can come its way and what basic queries the clients might ask. Tone and approach. And tone and approach, again, explain how the assistant should represent the business. So it is different than tone that I mentioned before. That was just the tone of how the assistant would speak. But this is context about you and your business. So here, tone and approach means how the assistant would represent your business, right? How it would talk about your business. So professional, empathetic, knowledgeable, all these are examples that can be used. Right, so in this fourth step for context, I've written you are assisting a law firm specializing in family and criminal law. The firm's primary objective is to streamline client intake, ensure effective scheduling, and assist clients by providing relevant information about consultations and necessary documents. This rule helps reduce the workload on attorneys and office staff by handling routine inquiries. So as you can see here, I mentioned the basic stuff about the business. So you're assisting a law firm and what it does. Here I've mentioned the law firm's primary objective. So basically the aims, the goals, and whatever, right? And this is how it does it by, you know, providing relevant information about consultation and necessary documents. And finally, what it actually does. So this rule helps reduce the workload on attorneys and all that. So this is how you write the context. You can add or subtract something related to your business. Now the fifth step, which is really, really important, is the examples. Now this can take some time if you are writing imaginary examples, or you can actually pick real world scenarios like I've mentioned here. So give examples of the kinds of tasks the assistant will handle. So you must have previous call recordings or experience from previous calls of what kind of stuff the customers ask. Give some clips of that, like type it out, or give the transcript of that to the assistant of how you would like the assistant to answer. So booking a consultation, answering FAQs, providing updates on the case progress. I do have examples in these, so I'll just show you. So demonstrate how the assistant could handle multiple tasks in one conversation, such as scheduling, answering questions, or providing resources, right? So in this first example, if the client says, I'd like to book a consultation for next week, You can write this if this is how you want your assistant to handle the situation. Certainly, I can schedule a consultation for next week. Could you please bring along your identification, previous case documents, and any financial statements relevant to your case? What day next week works best for you? So see how it not just only, asks the booking time at the end, and at the start it says that, okay, I can schedule a consultation for next week. But because this is regarding a consultation, the information is stored that it needs to tell the people to bring documents. Great. So example two is, can you tell me more about the firm and the services you provide? So if the client asks something like this, the assistant would provide information on the firm and the services. So of course, we specialize in areas such as corporate law, personal injury, family law, and estate planning. Our experienced attorneys have been helping clients for over 20 years. We offer personalized consultations to understand your specific needs. Would you like to learn more about any particular service? So as you can see, it here asks at the end, would you like to learn more about any particular service? Right, it asks if there is any specific thing that you want to learn about. And if you say that there is, after telling you some answers, it will then ask you if you want to book a consultation call or a private consultation for it. It does that automatically if you tell it in the prompt that it needs to book meetings and book calls. So here, as you can see, I've written the examples. These are the same examples that I used in the slides. So yeah, nothing to see here. The last step of writing a great prompt is the notes. And this is really important. Many people overlook this and just ignore this because there is not much new information being added in the notes. And honestly, for the first time, you can just remove the notes section, right? You can just stop the prompt at examples. Then you can start talking with the assistant, and only after that, if you think that there are some things that it is missing or there are some mistakes that it's making, only then you need to add the note section, right? So restate key points. So highlight important instructions from the middle of the prompt, ensuring the assistant understands the main task. Now, why do I say middle of the prompt? Now, this is because in a long prompt, an AI actually remembers the starting of the prompt correctly and the end of the prompt correctly. But if the prompt is really long, it will miss the information that you wrote in the middle of the prompt. So in the between, it would forget the information that you wrote in the middle sometimes. Like when we wrote where we wrote the specifics part and the context part, it might miss that information of, some important points that you wrote that it needs to perform and it's not performing. So it might just forget about that or miss that. So you need to write those points. You don't need to write the whole thing. You just write those important points in short in the note section. Implement fixes. So after talking, if you see that it's doing something wrong, then you should just, instead of going to the prompt and erasing and rewriting and correcting everything, you just need to write a simple sentence in the note section correcting that thing, right? And it would fix it. So for an example, for me, when I was working with my own AI assistant for my agency named Ava, which I showed in the tutorial training, she was doing a mistake that she did not ask the caller for an exact time that they would like to book a meeting. Instead, if they said that I would like to book a meeting for tomorrow, she would just go ahead and book a meeting for tomorrow at a random point, not asking the exact time. So instead of, trying some heavy stuff, I just wrote a single line in the note section, which was that you need to ask clients the exact time of the meeting, and it solved the problem and it started doing that. So the note section is really, really useful for solving problems and adding things that you previously forgot. Lastly, new instructions. So if you remember something new that you needed to add and you can't fit it anywhere in the whole prompt in between, just write it in the note section and it will work just as well. Now for these notes, I just wrote that if someone asks questions that are not related to the firm or its services, answer them and subtly redirect the conversation. So back towards the firm and its services topic. Then keep adding stuff here for any of the reasons that I told just now. Okay, so a few things that really work well and I want to tell you here. Okay, so the first message is basically what the assistant will speak when it's picks up the call or calls someone. So as I've named this assistant Chris, I would say something like, uh, hello, I am Chris from whatever the name of the law firm is, and how may I assist you today, or something like that. Now, I wanted to tell you a few things One of them being that this is the markdown formatting structure. Like I've written role, then I've written the actual role. I've written the subheading as task, then I've written the actual task. You can write it without all this as well. But for some reason, this works better. This actually gives a clear view of what and where the assistant should speak the information. So it clearly defines the role, it clearly gives the tasks, it creates specific and separate lists in its mind by using this markdown formatting. So it is really just use this, it is a lot better. And one other thing that I needed to mention was here I have not written in tasks or specifics that I haven't done emotional prompting. Now, emotional prompting is really important, which I mentioned in my previous video as well. Emotional prompting is basically telling your assistant how important their job is. So just for a small example, in this case, you can say that you are really important to the law firm, right? Your job helps a lot of families in family cases and legal family cases or estate planning or something like that. So you are helping a lot of families. That is why do your job properly. And this subtle emotional prompting really betters the quality of the assistant and the AI, even if it's in ChatGPT, even if it's not a voice assistant, it is found that it works a lot better. Now, I don't know the reason why. Maybe AI has emotions and whatnot, but this really does work better. So even if you are writing in ChatGPT or creating a voice assistant, do use emotional prompting and it works a lot better. That's it for this video. All this other stuff like the model, the transcriber voice, all this is covered in my full training. If you want, I will be linking it in this video, or you can just go to my channel and check the 1 hour training on how you can create your own AI receptionist for your business. And if this helped, leave a like. If you want to ask anything, just ask me in the comments, or I'll be linking my socials, my Instagram and my LinkedIn in the description. You can go and message me there. My DMs are open. Also, if you want something like this created for your own business, and if you receive a lot of calls, you miss a lot of calls, you might be missing a lot of revenue. So if you want something like this to be created for your business personalized, you can book a free consultation call with me down below in the description. There will be my calendar link. It's a free one-on-one consultation call, so just go and check it out. All right, see you in the next one.